Following is a short demonstration about how to add a custom tab to devices in Zenoss. You may have a custom application that you're monitoring and you want to keep track very specifically of the state of that application or provide some other kind of overview information that is not encompassed on the status, OS, hardware, or other default tabs. To do this, you want to create a custom ZenPack and then add the functionality. First thing that we're going to do is you can see we're looking at a device that we'd like to see a new tab on. For the purpose of this demonstration, what I want to do is add a tab called My Tab right here between Software and Events. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create a new ZenPack to contain this functionality. For that, I'll go to Settings, to the ZenPacks tab. And I want to create a ZenPack, and I'm going to call this zenpacks.example.deviceTab. See, it quickly creates the skeleton of a ZenPack for us. I'll put my author name in here, and I'll make a prerequisite on the version of Zenoss that this supports. It has to be greater than or equal to Zenoss 2.5. Now I want to export this ZenPack so that it exists on the file system and I can start adding code to it. So now we're ready to load this into whatever editor we use. So I'm going to switch over to Eclipse with PyDev here. Create a new project around that ZenPack. Okay, called example.deviceTab. And I'm going to load the existing contents that were put onto the disk when I exported that ZenPack. And you'll find these under your zenhome/zenpacks directory. And here it is, Device Tab. So you'll see the skeleton that gets built out when you export a ZenPack from the interface. The first thing I want to do is actually add the new tab information to the device objects tab structure. And to do that, I go under ZenPacks, Example, Device Tab, and I open this __init.py file. This is loaded when any part of Zenoss starts up, and any kind of initialization that has to happen with your ZenPack can be put in here. So what I'm going to do is just paste some code. I have elsewhere here, and we can see this is where I started pasting at the top of the screen. So this just runs through the things that are necessary to both add a new tab to every device in the Zenoss system is the first step, and then from here down is what we're doing is we're going to actually filter this so that we don't see this tab on certain devices within the system. In this particular case, I'm going to say I only want to see this My Tab tab for devices that are under the server device class. So we can look at this really quick. Basically what we're doing is we're adding a tab in here at position number 4, which happens to be right in between that Software and Events tab that I wanted. I'm going to say the ID for this is you can kind of make this name up. The name is what actually shows up on the tab in the user interface, and then the action is the page template that is going to be used to render that tab when it's clicked on. And we'll get to how you create that page template in 1 minute. So we'll go ahead and save this, and then we'll go ahead and create that page template. And page templates, the easiest way to do this is just go into the skins directory that was created in your ZenPack for you. Then under the ZenPack name, we want to create a new file. Right. And just like in the actions there, where we said it was My Tab Detail, we need to make sure we call our file mytabdetail.pt, pt meaning page template. We'll create an empty file for us. Open this in the XML editor. Okay, that didn't work out very well. And again, I'm going to insert a very basic page template. And these are general wrappers that you put around every page in Zenoss so that you get the standard Zenoss web interface around it. You can see they're terminated here. I'm just going to put in a quick paragraph so we can see what we're doing. And then we're going to sort of render one of those red or green dots that you're used to seeing to denote status in Zenoss based upon events that currently exist for this device under the status/my app event class. So the idea here is that if I have a critical event in this event class for this device, my dot will be red. Otherwise, it will not. It'll be green. Go ahead and save that. The next step that we want to do here is actually to reinstall this ZenPack from the command line. So the way that you do that is, and we want to do a link install, which is how you install ZenPacks when they're in development mode. It prevents that egg from being created. You can kind of develop them in place. It's very useful. And the install is the path to your ZenPack. It's like home/ZenPacks/ZenPacks dot, what do I call it? Example.device tab. We're going to just install that ZenPack over itself, kind of do an in-place upgrade. Then I'm going to start Zope up in the foreground, Zope CTL FG, just in case there are any errors that can make it much easier to debug. Okay, so we're ready to actually test this out now. Come back into Zenoss, and first let's actually go to a device that is not under the server device class. So this, we should expect to not see my tab here, and good, we don't. So now we'll take a look at a device that is in the server device class. And here you can actually see that there it is, just like we wanted, a My tab right between software and events. So click on My tab, see what shows up. You see the status is currently green, which is what we would expect. Let's go ahead and create an event. And I said status/my app. Okay, so now we have that event in there. Click back on My tab, and you'll see, just like you would expect, the little indicator turns red to know there's a problem with the application. So that is pretty much it. You're ready to go at this point. Your custom ZenPack has been completed.